Hello, everybody. So I've got a story which I should have covered since a few days now. It's about a Nigerian grandmother, age 71, who was actually sacked from a cleaning job at a London university. And obviously, when I saw the age 71, I guess my mindset has changed as to why is a grandmother of 71 years old still working. I mean, like I said, my mindset has changed. And why did I say my mindset has changed? I understand that at that age, some of our African elderly people who are in diaspora, they still have the strength, they still have the energy to be able to wake up as normal and do what they would normally do before they retire. And I've seen other aged African people, even at that age, who are still working. So when I saw that news that she's a grandmother, 71, and she has been sacked for what? Like, I don't understand. And you'll be shocked at what our colleagues and our students went on to do in regards to that. So with that being said, guys, let's dive into the story. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo, and I'm also known as Start Mom of 5 and also known as TMO5 Candico. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So I'm going to be sharing my screen with you, and we're going to be reading that story as it is. Like I said, I want to be able to walk at 71. However, if I'm going to be working at age 71, it's going to be a job that I own. I probably would not want to be working for somebody at the age of 71. I believe the retirement age in the UK at the moment is, I believe, 65. And I think that age is going to be increased in a few times. Like, since I joined the workforce in the UK, I believe the retirement age has been moved a few times. So people like me, only God knows if we are even going to retire before the age of 70 or at 71. So with that being said, let me share my screen with you and let's read the story the way it has been reported. So I found this news a few days ago from the Metro newspaper, and I saw that news actually online, and I said that okay, let me bring this story to you because it's actually quite shocking that she got sacked because of what? Because of like I mean, it's kind of like sad to know that that was what happened. Anyway, that's the article on the screen. Let me read the news to you guys. So it says here that grandmother, age 71, sacked from cleaner job at London University over misplaced bracelet. So she was sacked because of a misplaced bracelet. So this story was just on the 5th of June that was reported. So it says here that a grandma, that's I mean, she actually looked good for 71. She looks absolutely fantastic for age 71. Skin still looking great, not a lot of wrinkles, but yeah, she's good at 71. So a grandma is fighting to clear her name after being sacked where she has worked for 13 years over a misplaced bracelet. So the grandmother's name is Janet Olufunke Damiro, 71, has been accused of stealing a bracelet she claims she found on a shift at the London School of Economics. Now, over 70 of her colleagues have risen to the university to defend her character after Janet said it was an, in quote, innocent case of forgetfulness. And yes, I will not even doubt that at all, except only if a notice has been placed somewhere to say a bracelet is missing, and if anybody finds it, they should hand it over. And I understand at that age as well, she probably just want to do a shift and then go home. So being an innocent case of forgetfulness, when she eventually was made aware that she could possibly have the bracelet, she handed the bracelet over. So I really do not understand why they thought that sacking her was the best thing to do. And by the way, what is the value of such bracelets? I won't be surprised if it's one of those Pandora bracelets, because like is it a diamond bracelet, or how much is a bracelet? What does it cost? So let's keep reading. So the cleaner who came to the UK from Nigeria in 1971 told Metro she forgot about the gold bracelet after she put it in her purse to keep it safe during her shift. Or a normal day, I would imagine that for the fact that she found it during her shift, she could have just handed it over straight away. Like, she could have taken it to lost properties, straight away. But then she's 71. She's in the middle of her shift when she found that jewelry. Okay. So university management then asked her about the lost item 3 days later, and she immediately handed it back out of her purse. Yes, I understand why people will say, oh, 3 days was enough for her to have, handed the jewelry in. But then how many days a week does she work at that university? Maybe she works twice a week, and maybe the day she found the jewelry was her last day of work during that week. Hence why it took that amount of days for her to hand it over. And yes, I understand it sounds silly that, When she found it straight away, why didn't she just go straight into the lost property? And like I said, except there has been a notice to say jewelry missing, if you find it, bring it, or except there's a notice and she's seen that notice and she's not she's not brought the jewelry in. If there was a notice up and it's placed where everybody will see it, and she has maybe possibly seen the notice and she has not brought it in, then I'll say, oh, maybe sack might be justified. But in my own opinion, I don't think being sacked for a mere jewelry could be justified. Okay. So despite previously apologizing, she was suspended and then sacked for gross misconduct at the end of April. Janet told Metro, in quote, "I can't sleep. I have never had a bad record or been to HR before in my life. In quote, LSE have treated me really badly. It was my only job and I loved working there. I never expected to be suspended or dismissed. In quote, I did not steal this thing. If I see any items, I always hand them over. In quote, this is the first time in my life I have had a problem like this since I came to this country. It is really bugging me." The grandma says she is broken by the dismissal. She has been left without a job, without income, and without justice, and is worried about paying rent and making ends meet. In that regards, that sentence there, I'm quite concerned. Why would she be struggling with, income, paying rent, except maybe she has not fully retired? And if she has retired, and from the amount of years that she has been here in the UK, I would imagine that she's been working and she's entitled to some sort of payment from her pension. Okay. Nigerians in diaspora, if you are working, please, this is an advice for you. Please ensure you are putting in a certain percentage of your wage into your pension, because you don't want to end up with someone like this woman who at 71, she's saying that obviously she has lost her job, she doesn't have an income, she's worried about paying her rent and making ends meet. So you don't want your story to be this. Always ensure that you're putting a certain percent of your wage into your pension. It could be workplace pension and it could be a private pension. It's up to you to decide what pension you really want to pay into. So Janet's union, the United Voices of the World Union, has been fighting Janet's case at disciplinary hearings and has appealed the decision. Their spokesperson told Metro, in quote, "It is ludicrous and absurd that someone can conclude she was committing an act of theft." Exactly. It is common sense. If you were to steal an item, you're not going to keep bringing it back to where you've stolen it. Exactly. Janet is absolutely horrified at the thought that anyone would think she had stolen anything. The level of scrutiny that she has been placed under is totally disproportionate to Janet's cooperation, honesty, and track record. An LSE spokesperson declined to comment to the Metro because the case is ongoing. Janet's colleagues and LSE students have leapt to her defense. Over 70 of her colleagues, including 3 supervisors, have written to LSE's management ahead of an appeal hearing to stand up for her. In a letter saying, fellow cleaners say they can, in quote, confidently speak to her professionalism and dedication. In quote, Janet has always conducted herself with integrity and consistently demonstrated a strong work ethic. A group of LSE students also, have set up a petition to demand LSE reinstate the long-time cleaner to her position. The petition says, in quote, "It is deeply disturbing that LSE will seek such sweeping punishment for a minor mistake." Exactly. At a dramatic appeal hearing on the 22nd of May, the hearing was postponed after opening remarks from Janet's caseworker. LSE then adjourned the whole appeal process and has now set a new hearing date for later in June. So hopefully maybe in a few days' time, we will get further updates in regards to that appeal. However, let's go to the bottom of this page where the comments are. I was shocked by the comments I found underneath this post. I was shocked. Like, people practically think that she attempted to steal the jewelry. Like, it's crazy. Why would people think that she attempted to steal the jewelry? The comment underneath this post is mind-blogging. So let me read a couple of those comments. So somebody says here that unless there is a history of such lapses, she should have the benefit of doubt. There is nothing to indicate that unless there's a history of such lapses, she should have the benefit of the doubt. There is nothing to indicate she has previous complaints against her. I can easily imagine putting something aside for safekeeping and forgetting about it entirely. I do it all the time. In fact, absolutely, and I agree with this person. The next post said, a lot of cleaning companies have supervisors who will ask you if you have found anything during your shift. This is not a cleaning company. She's a cleaner at a university. Okay. So there's nobody's going to ask her like, what did you find? Is there anything missing that's been that's been brought in? It's not a cleaning company. So this person said a lot of cleaning companies have supervisors who will ask you if you have found anything during your shift. Had they done this, she would have remembered she had found the bracelet and has stated, why would you steal it and bring it and continue to bring it into work? Some common sense is required. I would like to know who it is, and as I'm sure they wouldn't want her to lose her job. Exactly. So somebody here also commented on that person said that she's returned with it to see if she can get away with keeping it. Like, this person has a shallow mind. It's not the supervisor's responsibility to ask staff. They should be honest enough to hand in found items at work. She must have been caught on CCTV. Can you imagine such mindset? Also, Nas said here that 71 years old worried about how she's going to pay rent. That's just terrible. That was my thought as well. So enough of that comment there. Also, there's a video I really wanted to present here as well. Let me get that video up for you guys, okay? So here's the video. Let's hear what our Nigerian people have to say in regards to this story, okay?
Nigeria has to say about this. Zubikon said, so sad, she must be in need to work at that age. Let us support her. And Mustrifa said they have abandoned the issue at hand and are discussing the woman's age. Is she right or wrong? And Victor says, accusations aside, what is a 71-year-old still doing in London doing such a meager job? Doesn't she have children? I believe maybe she does, maybe she doesn't.
So guys, according to what we've from that video there and from what people have said in terms of comments as to it could just be a mere mistake of forgetfulness. And also, like I said at the beginning, that my mindset have changed. I no longer ask people that why are they still working at the age of 71, why are they not retired yet. But in our own case, I'm a bit worried for her because she claimed that she now has no income. She's concerned about how to pay her rent. And again, just like the comment we read earlier on, that why is she still working? Does she not have children? Come in diaspora, even if you have children, your children are living their life. It's you that you're going to live for yourself. In my own opinion, I don't think that was enough for her to have been sacked or suspended in any way. They could have just said, oh, next time when you find something, ensure you hand it in straight away rather than take it away. Because at the end of the day, how much is the jewelry? I would have loved to know the cost or the worth of that jewelry for them to take such action against her. And with that being said, guys, let me just a reminder again that if you're in the UK and you are working full time, I know you need to work a certain hours per week in order for you to be enrolled into a workplace pension. So if you're working maybe part-time, you might not be enrolled into a workplace pension. But if you are working full-time, please make sure you are enrolled into a workplace pension so that a certain amount of your wage is going into your pension. For me now, I work full-time and 8.5% of my wage is going towards my pension every month. So some people might decide to do a private pension scheme where they take out the private pension scheme and they don't pay into the pension that their work offers. You can do that, but make sure you have something that you are putting aside for your rainy days and for your old age. You don't want to be 75 in diaspora and you are still working. And even if at all, if you're going to be working, it should be something that you enjoy and not necessarily going to work for somebody where you'll be made to face stuff like this. Guys, let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section. Do you think this is a genuine case of forgetfulness, or do you think that Grandma Janet actually intended to steal this bracelet? Leave your thoughts and opinion in the comment section as always. And if you've watched this video till now, you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notifications, share this video to next to join my membership, and I hope to catch up with you in another video. With that being said, see you guys later. All right, bye.